Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news all right. Bills Mafia, buckle up because what's happening behind the scenes right now could be one of the most significant moves we've seen in recent NFL history. And honestly, it might just propel the Bills into a new era of dominance. Rumors are swirling around the San Francisco 49ers, who are reportedly open to parting ways with one of their biggest stars, Nick Bosa. Yes, you heard that right. And if this trade happens, it could totally shift the balance of power in the AFC, especially for the Bills, who are already riding high at 9-4 and looking to solidify themselves as serious contenders. Now, let's talk about the context here. The 49ers, after a very successful run with Bosa anchoring their defense, are reportedly in what's being called a rebuild of their front seven. This is not just idle speculation. Sources like Rossini have pointed out that after a holdout and some recent struggles, the 49ers could be willing to trade Bosa, especially if they get a good package in return. They're reportedly open to offering picks and an edge prospect, which is a pretty bold move for a team still in playoff contention. Why would they do this? Well, the 49ers are facing some cap constraints. Bosa's contract comes with a hefty $32 million hit, and with the team trying to extend players like Brock Purdy, they need to free up some space. Trading Bosa could clear around $26 million in cap space, giving them some flexibility to address other needs, like strengthening their offensive line, which has been a bit of a weakness at times this season. But for the Bills, this isn't just about a trade. It's about the potential to add a game-wrecking force on the edge. Bosa, coming out of Ohio State, has been dominant all season long. He's already registered 9 sacks in 12 games, with 26 quarterback hits, 78 pressures, and a PFF grade of 91. 8. That's elite production. He's a true disruptor, a guy who can change games with his pass-rushing ability. When you look at his stats, it's clear he's in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. His run-stop win rate is 33%, and he's been a nightmare for offensive linemen all season. Bosa's ability to pressure the quarterback and generate sacks is what makes him a perfect fit for any defense looking to elevate their game, especially in a division like ours, where pressure on the QB can make all the difference. Now you might be thinking, okay, but what does this mean for the Bills? Well, it's huge. The Bills' pass rush has been solid but not quite at the elite level we saw with players like Von Miller when he's healthy. Adding Bosa to the mix alongside Ed Oliver, that's a game changer. Oliver with a PFF grade of 85.3 and Bosa could form one of the most fearsome duos in the league, elevating our entire front seven. When you combine that with Ed Oliver's ability to disrupt the middle, the Bills' pass rush could become downright terrifying for opposing quarterbacks. And let's not forget, this would provide a significant boost against the run, which has been a concern at times this season. Bosa's consistent pressure and ability to set the edge would make it much harder for opponents to establish a ground game, especially against teams with dynamic rushing attacks like Derrick Henry or the mobile quarterbacks trying to escape pressure. The impact of acquiring Bosa wouldn't just be on the pass rush. It would have ripple effects across the entire defense. For fans who follow advanced stats, Bosa's numbers are staggering. He's averaged 83 sacks per game over his career, with a QB hurry rate of 15%, and he's consistently graded above 92 by PFF. His ability to generate sacks, pressures, and forced fumbles makes him one of the most complete edge defenders in the league. His presence would open up opportunities for other pass rushers like Von Miller, who is already having a resurgence in Buffalo. Miller's been producing 5 sacks and earning a PFF grade of 84. 6, and with Bosa on the other side, offenses would be in constant panic mode trying to handle both. But it's not just about the individual stats, it's also strategic. The Bills have been building a balanced, aggressive defense that can dominate both the pass and the run. Adding a player like Bosa would turn that vision into reality. Our front line would turn into a nightmare for any offense, especially in high-stakes playoff games. Imagine the pressure on quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow. With the Bills, secondary locking down their receivers thanks to the extra time Bosa's presence would create. It's the kind of move that can elevate a team from good to great, from a playoff team to a Super Bowl contender. Now, let's take a quick look at the bigger picture. The 49ers are currently 8-5, and they're trying to keep pace in a very competitive NFC West. They're looking to rebuild their offensive line, with a PFF grade of 64.5, aiming to extend players like Purdy. Losing Bosa would be a huge blow. They'd still be a solid team, but it would weaken their pass rush significantly, especially considering Bosa's dominance this season. His absence could expose their defense, making them more vulnerable to high-powered offenses like ours. If the Bills land Bosa, it's not just about improving our defense. It's about setting a tone in the AFC that we mean business, that we're willing to go all in to get over the hump and finally bring that Super Bowl trophy back to Buffalo. And speaking of the AFC, the betting odds are already reflecting the potential impact of this move. Currently, the Bills are +1,500 to win the Super Bowl, but if Bosa joins the team, those odds could plummet to +850, making us even more dangerous. The playoffs are about trenches, and Bosa's addition would make our matchups against rivals like the Ravens or the Chiefs even more daunting. Just look at the 2022 season when the 49ers defense, powered by Bosa, was one of the league's best at pressuring the quarterback and forcing turnovers. That same level of dominance, if replicated in Buffalo, could be the catalyst for a deep playoff run. Remember, the Bills have a solid offense led by Josh Allen, who's been passing for around 900 yards this season and continuing to be a dual threat with his mobility. Combining that with a ferocious pass rush, especially with Bosa's elite ability to generate sacks and pressures, it's easy to see how the Bills could become the team nobody wants to face come January. Now, let's talk about the potential ripple effects. If Bosa joins the Bills, it's not just about immediate impact. It's about building a dynasty. The team would have a formidable front that could dictate terms in every game, forcing opponents into uncomfortable situations. It would also free up other defenders to play more aggressively, knowing that the pressure on the quarterback is relentless. This kind of upgrade could lead to more turnovers, more sacks, and a defense that's truly feared across the league. Plus, with our secondary already playing well, especially after Benford's injury versus the Patriots, we'd be in a perfect position to take full advantage of Bosa's disruptive talent. This move could also ignite the fan base even more, energizing the entire city and sending a message to the league that the Bills are serious about reclaiming their spot at the top. And of course, the playoffs are where legends are made. Bosa's presence could be the X factor we need to finally crack the code and get back to the Super Bowl. Think about the potential matchups. Our defense shutting down high-powered offenses, our offense pushing the pace, and Bosa terrorizing whoever tries to block him. The playoffs in recent years have shown that trenches win championships, and Buffalo could become a fortress with Bosa anchoring the line. The AFC is crowded, no doubt, but with a player of Bosa's caliber, the Bills could elevate themselves from a good team to a true title contender. It's a move that could have ripple effects for years to come, establishing Buffalo as a defensive powerhouse, a team that's feared not just for its offense, but for its relentless, disruptive front. So fans, this is the kind of move we've been dreaming about, adding a generational talent like Nick Bosa to our already talented roster. It's the type of trade that could turn the tides in our favor and finally help us bring home that elusive Super Bowl trophy. The rumors are heating up, and while nothing is official yet, the potential is enough to get us all hyped. The Bills are on the cusp of something special, and this kind of upgrade could be the final piece of the puzzle. We're talking about a team that's already competitive, but with Bosa. We're talking about a true juggernaut, a defense that can dominate the AFC and make a real run for the championship. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster move? Do you think Bosa can be the piece that finally pushes us over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters, not just to us, but to the entire Bills Mafia. We've seen how the team has been trending, how the additions of players like Ed Oliver and the leadership of Josh Allen have kept us competitive. But adding a player like Bosa could be the catalyst we need to make that leap into the postseason and beyond. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more news, and more deep dives into what's happening with your Buffalo Bills. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep pushing forward together. The future is bright, and with a little bit of luck and some bold moves, we might just be heading back to the Super Bowl soon. Let's go Bills!